Good evening, everyone. You are watching YTB, Europe United Ministries Thursday broadcasting. I'm Andrew. We are now the second session of YTB and are going to meet Ellie Spick, one of the council members of New Hope United Church. And she'll share her life story and church life and activities. I can tell she is with beautiful smile and character. Let's find out what she has to say. Hello people, hello.
Welcome.
Okay, Ruth. Tell us about yourself and New Hope United Church.
Okay, I started with Teston United Church because Teston and Maple and York Pines amalgamated some years ago. But Teston was my original church, and I started when my fourth child was 3, and I joined the quilting group at that time. The quilting group had been there for over 100 years, and we had a huge group at that time, and I continued quilting to this day. When the churches amalgamated, we had some people from a couple of the other churches that amalgamated with Teston, and we became New Hope quilters instead of Teston quilters. So the group got larger, and we really enjoyed each other's company. So we did a lot of fundraising. We did a lot of community work. We made quilts for hospitals, for nursing homes. We made baby quilts for Sick Children's Hospital, and people paid us to quilts that they made or found when a family member passed away. They would find a top and bring it to us, and they paid us to do those, and the money went straight to the church. Our quilting group made a cookbook, which we made $2,000 on, and it was all the quilters' recipes. So we've done a lot in the community and had a great time doing it. We go on a road trip to Amish country in the spring and in the fall, and we buy our supplies there. We have a couple of Amish farms that we go to, and they know us very well now, so it's like meeting up with old friends when we go there. And we have our lunch, and then we drive back home. Usually 2 or 3 carloads go. So our quilting group has gotten smaller over the years as people pass away and young people are working, so it's not so easy for them to participate. But the group that we have are very prolific, and we quilt our own quilts, and we have a real friendship with everyone that comes. And anyone is welcome to come on Wednesdays to New Hope United. You don't have to be a church member, and you don't have to know how to quilt. We'll help you in any way we can if you want to do this hobby. And I think it's a very nice friendship. We exchange recipes, and Maple Church hadn't had a quilt group in a very long time, and King City did have a quilt group, and then some of them had come a few times, but mostly they were elderly, and they found driving when they lost their license, they couldn't come. But York Pines had a quilt group also. So it's a big contribution to a church to have a quilt group, because it keeps a nice feeling of friendship, and everyone is welcome. You don't have to quilt. Some people just come for lunch to see what we're doing, and that's basically how we've supported the church in a lot of ways, because so many of the young people work. It's not so easy to put on dinners and that kind of thing, bake sales. So, yes. I don't know what else to say. That's called the quilt in the entranceway.
Let's get going right now.
Oh, okay.
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 Yeah.
I'd like to show you a quilt that the Teston quilters made, and we keep it in the front entranceway for anyone interested to see as they come in. It's sort of a welcoming quilt, and this quilt was done by the Teston quilters, and it was done probably 20 years ago, and it was on our anniversary, the project. In the center is Teston Church. It looks quite much like that, or it did before it was torn down for the road. It has the doves in the corner, and each person paid $25 for a block, and they gave us the names of their family members, and they could add as many as they wanted to. And then we embroidered the names on the quilt and put the blocks together and arranged them and put the birds up in the corner. And then we stitched all the squares together, and then we quilted it. So it's a memory quilt. That's what it's called. Actually, it's a memory quilt. It creates the memory of the people, and some of them have passed away maybe over 100 years ago, but all their family members that they gave us the list of, we managed to put them all on.
I guess that's your name over there, just beside this one, right? Okay. That's right.
My block.
Oh yeah.
And Copperthorn. See where Ruth Copperthorn, she still quilts with us, and I think she wasn't quilting with us at that time. Oh yeah, there it is. That's Ruth Copperthorn, who's one of our quilters.
Right.
She still quilts with us. And that's Roy Robson's family up at the top, and he was our organist and is still coming to this church. And this is Amy Darker, and she's a quilter.
Yeah.
So these are all the people that were attending Teston Church at that time.
Okay.
And they still lived in the community. So it became the memory quilt from Teston on our anniversary. So the church was built in 1872, and this was done in 2002. So it was quite a project, and it really brought people together and brought a lot of memories for a lot of people. And they were always coming on Wednesdays to check out the blocks and see whose block was finished and whose wasn't, and the names of people they remembered from their history, and it was a lovely project.
Yeah, good memory. Okay. Thank you, Ellie. What a tour!
I would love to. At Christmas time every year, we try and do a project that will bring some other people in the community in, and it produces Christmas decorations that we sell. Last year, one of our quilters passed away, and her husband donated all of her fabric, and every quilter has a stash of fabric. So he donated all the fabric that his wife had, and we found a pattern to make Christmas decorations. Balls that were put together with pins and sparkles that we glued on, and those balls became a project that kind of grew and scattered to other churches where we joined together with York Pines. We took a Christmas tree full of those balls to one of their functions, and they purchased those balls, and then we went to King City and we did the same thing there, and we had them on display in our church here at New Hope. So many people purchased those balls. They were $10 each, and they were about this big around, so they were a decent size, and it became a fundraiser for us, and we raised approximately $600 from those balls, which was a surprise because we didn't expect to sell that many. But anyway, we had two other girls coming in who are not quilters, and they worked on the balls every Wednesday with us, so it made a nice group, and we celebrated with a potluck lunch and to wind up. So it was very, very successful. But each year we pick a project. This is an example of one of our Christmas decorations that we've made a few for the coming Christmas because they were so successful and people have asked for them. And there are no two alike, so they're all different colors and they have different ribbon. There's no two alike, so when you purchase one, it's yours. So that was a very successful fundraiser. The three churches have worked together when there's an activity, and the two churches that aren't having the activity normally would have gone together to, say, York Pines. The King and New Hope would go together and support their activity. But because of COVID, that's not been happening, but we're looking forward in the future when things settle down and people can be together again. We'll continue supporting each other and getting together with our friends at King City and York Pines. And New Hope, when we have a function, we will let them know, and hopefully everyone will be able to enjoy each other's company and activities again.